When assembling your back inflation system, you're going to need a wing, a harness, and a backplate. We're going to take a deep dive into Deco Backplates today. Hello fellow divers, Brad here from Deco Diving South Africa, and I'm going to cover some of the key features of our Deco backplates. This that I have in front of me is the stainless steel 316 stainless steel standard length backplate. This can accommodate a diver taller than 1.67 meters. Now the purpose of the backplate is to attach the diver with the harness to the cylinder and wing. What makes a backplate really comfortable is how stable it is on the back. Whilst the diver is in trim position, really does even out the weight distribution across the back and makes the cylinder sit very still. A lot of people are worried that backplates are uncomfortable, and despite there being bolts that seem to stick out the back when we attach to either a twin set or to a single cylinder, they don't come anywhere close to the back of the diver, so there's no worry about tearing your wetsuit or scratching your back. Our stainless steel plate weighs 2.3 kilos, so it is perfect if you're trying to take some weight off your weight belt and carry that weight closer to the center of gravity of the diver. Now I mentioned sizes. A taller diver, more than 1.67, would take this standard height, and a shorter diver, less than 1.67 meters, would take our shorter plate. And this is really important because how the plate sits on the back of the diver determines their trim. So that is why we decided to make the two different sizes. Over and above materials, we've also considered that some divers are traveling divers, and as such they want as light a system as possible. So we have another option, which is of course our aluminium or anodized aluminium backplates. Now this weighs 700 grams versus 2.3 kilos. So if you are on a holiday that needs traveling and carrying luggage, then your aluminium option certainly makes a lot more sense. Let's talk about some of the features of Deco diving backplates. Well, let's start off with materials. This being a stainless steel plate is made from 316 stainless steel. Now there are a variety of grades of stainless, and 316 is probably the most premium, simply because of its incredible ability to withstand corrosion. Brilliant for marine applications because it never gets that dull grey sort of oxidized look that you do with lower grade steels. It will retain this finish for its lifetime. Importantly, we've also finished the plate off with electro polishing, and that gives it this incredible bright, vibrant look, and it holds that look for its lifespan too, which is pretty cool. Now in terms of the holes and the slots that we drill in here, everything is CNC cut, but also when it comes to finishing the plate, all the edges of all the cuts are then rounded off with milling machines to make sure that there are no rough edges to cut through your webbing, and certainly no sharp edges that you would feel if you were to run your hand along the plate. These slots are all put in place for very specific purposes. We have a bunch of accessories which can fit onto these plates, and they've been perfectly aligned to accept those accessories as well. In terms of other materials, the aluminium that we're using for our lighter plates, this is a hard anodized aluminium, which gives it a lot more durability against scratching and certainly against oxidation. We do need to be mindful when you combine stainless steel with aluminium, so even our bolt sets have got special gaskets that go in place to try and avoid any contact of metal on metal to avoid that galvanic corrosion that can happen with aluminium backplates. And finally, let's talk about accessories. Accessorizing your backplate. Well, there are a couple of things that you can use to enhance the functionality of your plate depending on your requirement. The first one I'm going to start off with is of course those people who would like additional padding to the plate. We make these padded back pads that fit over the plate with a bolt set supplied with the kit, and this makes it very comfortable. Despite the fact that it doesn't hurt your back, some people like the look and feel of the padding. Importantly, our padded back pad has got some additional features to it as well. Built into the back of the pad is another pocket into which you can slide an SMB, and not rolled up of course, but stuffed into the back and leave the bottom of the SMB out, such that whilst diving you can reach behind you and pull the SMB out and deploy. This particular back pad comes in the standard size as well as the short size if you need that extra comfort. What about pockets? Well, I for one like to carry my SMB stored away. I don't like to have it dangling around. We've designed these SMB pockets to actually bolt onto the bottom of the plate, the SMB and spool can fit in from the side and very easily released with just one hand. It sits between your backside and the cylinder, so it's out the way, nice and concealed, but at the same time accessible. And then finally, some people who are going to use single cylinders might choose to use a single tank adapter, which then bolts onto the back of the back plate. And for that, we have stainless steel. This, of course, bolts on with a bolt set as such. And of course, aluminium, depending on the weight that you're trying to save. So there you have it. Lots of options, lots of choices, lots of customization for your Deco backplate. So there you have it. Why use backplates? The different sizes, the materials, the features, the accessories. We've pretty much kind of covered all of that. From here on, obviously, you'd need to know more about the harness systems, how to attach them, and we'll most certainly cover that in subsequent videos. I hope you've enjoyed that. For those of you who are unfamiliar with backplates, I certainly hope that makes a little bit more sense to you. But as you'll see the systems come together, you'll appreciate exactly why a Deco backplate is probably the right one for you.